What if it's contaminated and now it's on my fingers? The contamination.
I don't know what to do. There's some tissue over there. I don't know where that came from.
I want to Google image it.
Yeah. The clock's just a touch slow. It is 7.
Does the computer say 7?
The computer says
Well, if
7.
the computer says 7, then
Must be right.
it must be right. So we'll call the December 1st meeting of the Hastings Planning Commission to order. We'll begin with roll call. Bolthouse, Darling, Foster,
Here.
Like,
Here.
Mattson,
Here.
McLean,
Here.
Moyer Kale,
Here.
Toseva,
Here.
and Sorge.
Here.
And Hatfield is here, so we do have a quorum. If you'll all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You've all received a draft agenda. Are there any changes anyone would propose? Otherwise, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as distributed?
I'll move approval. Support.
Moved and supported. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Likewise, you've received draft minutes from our November 3rd meeting. Are there any corrections?
Was Jackie here at the last meeting?
I was, I think, yeah.
I think it said you're absent.
You came in late.
I think she was absent.
I
No,
didn't. I was here at the last meeting, wasn't I?
I don't think so.
no, I don't think you were.
You were absent at the beginning of the meeting, but you voted at the end.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm looking at my calendar.
Okay.
She voted.
Jay McLean absent.
Oh, and then down towards the bottom, it shows there was a motion by Jackie and then seconded by Levi for special land permit for St. Rose.
Yeah. I think I was here, you guys.
You were here, you were just late.
You missed the roll
I
call.
don't think I was late.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't remember you being here. I guess I can review, I mean, we can put this on the next.
We'll
And then I
we'll
can
hold on
review
the minutes
the-
and you'll
yeah.
double check
I'll
that.
double check that.
We can check the video.
Yeah,
We
that's
have,
what
we have
need to
evidence.
check.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
I was a little delayed in doing the minutes because I didn't have some of the notes, so since it happened in 2 segments, that might have led to some confusion, but
Okay.
well,
We'll,
luckily we have a recording.
we'll defer on approving the minutes and double check that.
Nobody can remember.
It was a whole month ago.
I think I'm the only one here that's old enough to have a valid excuse for that, but yeah, we'll not get into that. Information items, we have none. Public hearings, we have a public hearing scheduled to review and consider Northridge Estates condominiums, planned unit development, and final site plan approval for property located at 1700 North Jefferson Street. The procedure will follow. I'll call the public hearing to order. We'll hear staff comments. We'll hear comments from the developer, and then anyone else that cares to speak. So having said that, I'll call the public hearing to order. Dan, you can off.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So yes, tonight is the final planned unit development plan review and site plan review for Northridge Estates condominium project per the standards and guidelines in the city's ordinance pertaining to planned unit developments. The applicant has been through the pre-application conference. Planning Commission did conduct a preliminary site plan and PUD review in accordance with the ordinance. So tonight is the final plan unit development and site plan review. As the chair stated, that this is subject to a public hearing which has been opened. The public hearing has been noticed both in the newspaper of record, the Hastings Banner, as well as within 300 feet of all the properties around this subject property. The property owners have been noticed by written mail. So again, this is the final site plan review and planned unit development plan is put forth by the applicant. With that, I'll turn it over to Rebecca for any planning consultant staff comments.
Thank you, Dan. Rebecca?
Thank you. Yes, the final development plan that you have in front of you, including the landscape plan, really is going to be reviewed by you as it relates to three different things. Number one, the plan is subject to specific content requirements. This plan also should be reviewed for responding to any comments or corrections that you requested in your preliminary review. And then you also have a set of standards of approval or for approval that you apply, which are more general in nature. The report is crafted in those three sections. As it relates to the first, the content requirements, the plan is complete with respect to all of the required content with the exception of two things. They are required to provide architectural drawings that speak to building design, height, and size. I did not see those come in. And also, if this is going to be developed in phases, a phase proposal should be provided. If it's a single phase, then they've met that requirement as well. With respect to the corrections or edits that you requested in your preliminary review, there are just a handful of them. Actually, a couple of them will be addressed with providing the architectural drawings, so that will take care of that. They are relatively minor in scope. They did provide the landscape plan that was really speaking to several of your observations last month. As just a note on the landscaping plan, they are shy the number of plantings that would apply in the front yard landscaping requirements, and some of them are not actually located in the front yard. However, the Planning Commission, as you know, has the discretion to approve a landscape plan that is shy of the requirements if you feel that it meets the intent of the ordinance. The landscape plan also doesn't speak to species, but it does on size. So just some minor things missing that's listed in the report. But primarily, the key issues or key content requirements have been provided. Lastly, the standards of approval. I've gone through those for you and bulleted some items for you to consider in responding to each of those. And basically, in conclusion, I think the overall design of the project is supported by all of your standards of approval. So the summary of findings, which is on the last page, points that out, that it does meet those standards of approval, and that if you were so inclined, you'd be in a position of making that recommendation to the city. But I would suggest that you condition that on the submission of those items noted below.
Thank you. Questions for either Dan or Rebecca?
I didn't quite understand what the landscaping requirements were on the report. What does it mean? 'Cause it's got the road frontage, and then it has numbers.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, the way your landscape ordinance is set up is you have front yard landscaping requirements and then you have buffering requirements. The buffering requirements didn't apply because of the surrounding zoning. So the only set of standards that apply are the front yard standards, which require established planting requirements, and those plantings are then to be established within the front yard, otherwise from between the building and the road. All right. The requirements are premised upon the very first sub-bullet essentially sets out what the requirements are, and it's 1 canopy tree, 2 evergreen trees, 1 ornamental tree for every 75-foot road frontage, plus an additional ornamental tree, and then the same number of shrubs as there are required trees. So what I did in the second bullet then is in the bold and in parentheses is to identify how many they've provided. The unparentheses number is actually how many that's required.
Oh.
So 12 canopy trees are required because of the amount of road frontage. They're providing 6. 24 evergreens, they're providing 23. 13 ornamental, they're providing 17. And no shrubs. And then some of the plantings are actually placed behind the buildings. So, and then no species have been indicated, and you do have a list of species that you don't allow. So, but again, that's just so you have a feel for the degree to which they've met your standards.
That's helpful, thank you.
Okay. Other questions for Rebecca? If not, we have the developer with us tonight. Would you like to give us a little background and respond to any of the comments that you feel appropriate?
Yeah. Well, you guys have kind of heard the thoughts behind it a couple times now, I think, so. But I'll address some of the questions. The building heights. The plan is to have them all be like ranch style, your traditional condos. So they'd be well below the 35-foot requirement there. So, and I mean, I have a good idea on them, but I haven't totally. Typically, get through like approvals and then dive into more of the detail on the material and the exact layout and that type of stuff. But that's the plan, is that they're ranch-style condos and so forth. Trying to hit that missing market, I think, of kind of elderly people as they age out of homes and like the condo kind of living. So that's that. I believe concrete on the driveways. I mean, sometimes with condos we do asphalt, but I guess if you need to know now, I would say concrete. And then the landscaping, yeah, we were kind of a little confused by that too. I guess exactly what requirements were. So kind of just I focused on buffering the existing homes. So like west of Unit 38 on the site plan, that house kind of backs right up to that, and then coming from the south, where there's houses there. So kind of went heavier on the trees there, did some up front, but typically, again, don't get into that until the fine details of types of shrubs and that type of stuff until we get a little farther along. So, but being a PUD, just kind of put in there what we were hoping to do. I think that's enough. It's more than typically done, I think, for condos, but so. So one phase is the plan. So we would do it all in one phase, so that road would all go in at one time. So other than that, that's it. Kind of just trying to hit a little different niche with product type or house type, and get some decent density, but having open spaces. And
Okay.
so, like I mentioned before, typically more elderly people, although that's changing more and more, but, so less traffic, I would think, on the roads and that type of stuff.
Questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll now invite anyone that wants to comment on this to please step to the podium, give us your name and address, and you have 3 minutes to comment.
Hi, I'm Ken Sheck. I live at 1835 Briar Hill Drive. So thank you for the extra buffering on units 28, 29, and 30. One concern that I had, and I couldn't see it in the plan, I know there's a cul-de-sac now on the east side, but it looked like the condos were separated enough that you could put a road into East Street someday. Is there any plan of having a road continue? I guess it's Calvary that would go through the cul-de-sac and would that one day go on through to East Street, because we know that there's other development coming. It would be wonderful if there's not, but you know, we'll live with it because we know if it's a cul-de-sac and it's permanent, we don't have that through traffic going through our neighborhood. We have the through traffic anyway through our neighborhood to fulfill the new development. Happy about that. We need more housing, but just a question on traffic. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
Excuse me, but at this point, you're addressing questions to us. We'll give him an opportunity to respond after we get all the questions, but thank you. Any other comments?
I'm Valerie Flickema. I live at 1823 North Jefferson, and that pond is in our backyard, and we want to know if anything's happening in that pond. If it's being made smaller, anything, are they doing anything to it? We value that pond, and so, and then we want to know, are the condos going to be like the ones that are being built on Woodland Avenue? That quality of condo. It's not low income or anything like that, is it?
As I say, at this point, you're asking questions. We'll, let the developer respond after we get all the questions. So your patience will be appreciated.
I think that's it. I don't know anything about anything else. I can remember.
Okay, thank you.
Could you repeat your name for me for the minute?
My name?
Yeah.
Valerie Flickema.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Mr. Chair, there was a written response that would like to enter into public record. And I'll read this. It was via email, but it was signed also with the address of the property owner. Hello, Dan. This is my written concerns about the proposed project for building additional Northridge Estates condo. I'm totally against it for several reasons. Two of my biggest reasons are our road can't handle any more traffic, and our pond is also not big enough to subject any more people on it. Please count this letter for me as a no. I wish I could be there, but I can't make it this time. Thanks, Dan. Happy holiday to you and yours. Sue Otto, 243 East North Street in Hastings.
Okay. Again, any other questions or comments?
My name is Bob Flickema, 1823 North Jefferson. I would say the biggest comment would be wildlife. Both ponds house turtles, fish, ducks, geese, We don't want this affected in any way, shape, or form. My concern looking at the drawing, and I've stood on Calgary trying to imagine and visualize this, is somehow right now from the small pond to, I think it's a 2-unit, 3-unit, 3-unit. There's a hill that goes from the pond up, and that hill somehow is going to have to be extended out. I would hope and pray it does not affect the pond. This sounds really crazy that we're that attached to a pond, but I mean, this is a big reason why we purchased our house, is we live in the city, but we can look out our back door and it appears like we're out in the country. And I'm okay with, you know, building, you know, that's part of being in America. But I don't want this pond affected at all. With dirt, you know, during the landscaping, the excavating portion, dirt falling into it, that best be cleaned out if it does. So that's my comment, is nature needs to be preserved here. We have deer that run through our yard, surprisingly enough, you know, stuff like that. But obviously it's going to be affected, but the two ponds, for the current people who live around them, is very important. And I really can't stress that enough. It's very important for the people who live around them. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Since it's come up from a number of you, one thing I just want to point out, those are not natural ponds. Those are stormwater retention basins, and they were put in there for stormwater retention. There was never any provision for a recreational amenity. Yeah, they're there to take care of stormwater runoff. And yeah, we need to preserve that because it's an important asset to a number of developments around that area. But they do have to be treated as stormwater retention basins and not as natural recreational ponds. Okay. So, anything there that you'd like to respond to?
Sure. I think on the cul-de-sac question, I think he's talking about the east side. That'll stay cul-de-sac. Because that's cul-de-sac coming in from the east side also. So, nope, that's what they are, and that can't change. The ponds will stay. Those ponds are actually designed originally and engineered to service this property also, and the property to the east. But those will stay the same. Those are actually, the larger one is regulated because of the size. We really don't have control of it. It's regulated by Eagle, the state. And then the smaller one, that'll pretty much stay the same. And then we'll have to get, when we start moving dirt, we'll have to get soil erosion permits and put up silt fence and to protect that runoff into those ponds during construction. Same within the roads and silt sacks in the storm drain area. So, no, those will stay the same. So they're an important part of all the projects there. So, the quality of the condos, they'll be. I don't know which ones you were referencing around the corner, but they'll be. They're new construction. They'll be. I would, say like a mid-level. It's always a balance. You're trying to. Affordable housing is so tough these days. So it's always a challenge of developing and building and trying to keep it affordable. So we try to do like a mid-range on those. they're for sale, they're not gonna be for rent or anything like that, so that should help ensure the kind of the quality of it, I think. And, the guy that wrote the letter, I guess, about the traffic, I don't think this is gonna add too much, and these roads, all the public roads around it were kind of designed for more traffic, and I guess I don't think it'll be too many large families moving in there either, so that should limit the traffic. I think that's all the questions.
Okay.
Comments?
Commissioners, other questions? We didn't get back to it, but given the way the landscaping requirements have now been explained,
Oh, yeah.
are you comfortable with complying with those requirements?
I guess I'd like to see if they can be lessened, kind of, or improved how we have it drawn. As a PUD, I think you guys have the authority to do that. Like I said, I think we're kind of overkill on the backside in the open spaces to kind of create that buffer. If you give me a second to read what they are.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't
we're
really
short.
seem like it's that different. If you change
No.
a few of the ornamental trees to canopy trees, you're almost there.
But
Yeah,
there's zero
I guess
shrubs.
the shrubs, that's like probably in front of the units. I guess that'll all get done, but when you got 38 units, if you just have 2 shrubs per unit, I guess. If that qualifies, I don't know, like.
Yeah, I think
They have to be in a certain.
the shrubs include foundation plantings, so.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as they're in between the building and the road, they're considered
Right.
front yard landscaping.
Yeah.
So we're off 6 canopy trees, 1 evergreen. And we're over. Oh, no, very good. Okay, no, we're over on ornamentals. Yeah, I guess I can live with that.
Okay. Other questions, comments? Hearing none, what's your pleasure?
Fire department,
I'll make a motion to recommend to the city council the approval, denial,
Can't
the
do both.
approval with conditions of the proposed PUD. So I guess I'm wondering if that's,
The third one won't apply, or I'm sorry, the second bullet won't apply because they're not doing it in phases.
okay,
But the other 3.
yes,
Yeah.
I wanted those included as well.
So, which would be architectural drawings in detail sufficient to address the questions noted, the revision of the plans that will demonstrate compliance with the landscaping requirement and specify the materials for street and construction. And then our usual conditioning of approval from the fire department and Department of Public Services.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. All right. Thank you very much, and thank you to those of you that came tonight to share your comments. Hopefully you will have some nice new neighbors there. All right. Next item of business, you have a proposed meeting schedule for 2026. And while I want to acknowledge that these meetings are extraordinarily fascinating, if you'd like to excuse yourself, we won't take offense.
Extraordinarily. Oh, that's funny.
And so this proposed schedule just continues our practice of meeting on the first Monday of the month. Dan, we had a couple of I don't know, we've got a December 15th.
Yeah,
Oh, that was what we did this last year, sorry, looking at the wrong one.
the left-hand column are
Yeah.
the planning commission meeting
So
dates that
September
are
is the
proposed.
only,
Yeah, the right-
September is the only meeting that's not on the first Monday of the month, and that's because that would be Labor Day, so the meeting, we're actually going to move it back a week.
Actually, Labor Day's on, it's late as can be, it's on Monday, the 7th.
Oh, the
so
7th, okay, so
Tuesday.
the meeting is on Tuesday, the 8th.
The note at the bottom says September 1st.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll just need to adjust that.
that was user error.
That's what happens when you go back and try to use last year's.
Do we need a motion for that?
We need a motion to set those as our
I'll make
as our
a motion
meeting.
to approve the established meeting schedule for 2026.
Okay,
Support.
moved and supported. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay, old business, JPA, JPC update.
JPA will meet here in a couple of weeks, and JPC met and reviewed several proposed text amendments for the mixed-use district. Those were all recommended to be adopted by the Hastings City Council and the Rutland Township Board. So those will both be reviewed in December and January by those respective boards with the recommendation to approve those changes. That just affects the urban service area over which the Joint Planning Commission has jurisdiction. So that's the first time it's been updated since 2016, as I understand it. So it was ripe for some changes.
Primarily dealing with larger scale developments, since the original was, designed more for small businesses. But no comments of significance at the public hearing, and was a unanimous vote to forward those to Hastings City Council and the Rutland Township Board for their approval. So we'll hear back shortly from that. Any questions on JPA, JPC? Okay. Dan, work task list?
Yes. So what I'll do is, the only change to the work task list is the addition of item number 10. And I'd like to draw your attention to the staff memo that was prepared by Sarah Moyer-Hale, as city manager, regarding the referral of this keeping of animals, especially as it pertains to chickens, and even more primarily the number of chickens, has been referred from the city council to the planning commission just for review and consideration. So the memo that Sarah wrote is in your packet, and it's also on the screen. So.
Okay. So we have a motion to approve the work task list as amended.
Yes, I'll make the motion to approve the work task list as amended.
I'll support.
Moved and supported. Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay, tracking report, Dan?
The only change would have been, go there, was the addition of the St. Rose of Lima Church site plan that was reviewed at the November 3rd meeting.
They're still debating whether she was here or not.
Oh, I reviewed the video.
I just at one point remember thinking, are you sure?
Your chair was empty on the video.
It was? Okay, good. I guess I wasn't.
You hid pretty well, Jackie.
I was.
So you voted.
Well, okay, I guess I wasn't here.
Well, now, the
video proved it.
fact that she wasn't here and that she voted, that's a whole different issue.
Yeah, it's like Chicago or something.
Yeah. Okay, any questions for Dan on the tracking report? Okay, I do have one little exercise for you, what I'd like for you to do before the next meeting. Why don't you take the work task list and to each of those 10 items, just indicate a high, medium, or low level priority in your opinion so we can see what the consensus is for how, which of these we may want to address in what order.
Yeah, because I don't think they're ordered at all.
No, they're not, I don't, yeah. So, high, medium, or low priority. And get that to Dan and we'll get that distributed with the packet.
Oh, we're supposed to do that. Okay.
Who'd you think was supposed
I
to do
don't know. I
that?
thought you were talking to Dan, and I'm like, okay.
No, Dan just gets to compile the results
Right.
of your thoughts, so, if you would, please. All right, open public discussion and comment. Any questions? If you would step to the podium, give us your name and address.
Hi, my name is Summer Robertson. I'm at 25 Ironside Drive. I usually prepare something before I come up, but this time I didn't, so you're welcome. Just kidding. I brought up the original concern about the keeping of chickens, and I know some of you have already heard from me, but some of you have not. So I just wanted to point out a few things. There's a lot of people within the city limits that have large parcels of land, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 acres, and we're only allowed to have up to 6 chickens. And I have a family of 5, and that doesn't feed my family. And so it kind of seems silly to say, hey, yeah, you can have them, but you can't have enough to cause you any kind of good at home. I think there's been a lot going on in our world for a long time. And we've seen a pandemic, and we've seen food shortages, and we've seen disease outbreaks in the large factory eggplants. And we've seen government shutdowns and all kinds of things that make people a little bit uneasy. And I think what we should be doing is really supporting our residents when they want to provide for themselves instead of slapping on rules and regulations to hold them back from literally just feeding their families. So that's what I would hope that you guys would consider when you look through this. Our world is moving in a different way, and so maybe it's not so much about noise complaints and stinky chickens, because you can watch 100 TikTok videos and find out how to stop all of that from happening. We're moving forward. Let's support our residents in allowing them to provide for themselves more if they are able and capable of doing so. So that's what I would like to request. Thank you.
Thank you. John? All right. Staff comments.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Commissioner comments. Mr. Mayor?
Merry Christmas again.
Thank you.
Dan, sitting in the booth over there, asked me if this is going to be a short meeting, so that's why I said Merry Christmas so quick.
Okay.
I guess I would just ask why the specific amount of chickens is what it is currently. Like the 6 for 1 acre, and then, I think it's 5 per lot, if the lot is 1/2 an acre. What is significant about that specific number?
We spent quite a bit of time discussing this 3-4 years ago when that ordinance was adopted. Frankly, at that point when we held public hearings, we had very few people that were interested in it at all, and a number of concerns about what impact they might have on the neighborhood and why they live in the city as opposed to why they live in the country. We looked around at what other communities were typically doing, and I think our numbers were consistent with what we found in most other ordinances for comparable communities. Was it scientific at all? No, not at all.
It was heavily informed as well by MSU Extension's model ordinance. But as you pointed out a couple of years ago.
Thank you, I forgot about that.
But you did also
Right.
reference other communities' ordinances, but I think they relied heavily on the MSU Extension model ordinance. Fair enough. And it is, which I think this is what you were suggesting as well, is when a lot of times when a community starts off allowing something they haven't allowed up until then, they start being more cautious than not, because you can always go in and modify once you find out what works. So, but those specific numbers came from the model ordinance.
Okay, thank you.
And I guess I would just add to that, there are some large parcels in town that it may make sense to revisit that cap.
It might be interesting, Rebecca, if you know of other ordinances that have changed, other localities, that might be interesting.
Gold?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay, Sarah?
The West State Street Corridor Steering Committee is meeting on Friday to review the state of the corridor, which will also then be subsequently presented at the City Council meeting on December 8th during the regular meeting. So if you're able to attend or tune in later for the recording, it'd be good for the Planning Commission members to be kept up on that.
What time is that on Friday? Since I don't
I want
remember.
to say it's 9.
Okay. Thank you.
Frank.
Nothing from me.
All right. Having no other business, do I have motion to adjourn?
Support.
Moved and supported. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much. And as the mayor said, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all.